Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We have Dr. Rafiu Ladipo. He is the President General of Nigerian Football Supporters Club. For a lot of us, we've grown up hearing that different ones when matches go on, and it seems like it has always been there. It has not, and this is one man that has been synonymous with Nigerian football over the years. It is great to have you, sir. You are welcome.
Good morning, and thank you.
I was checking the annals and archives. When exactly did you become the president of Nigerian Football Supporters Club?
Well, I joined the Supporters Club in 1977, and I became its national chairman in 1990 after going through the ranks from the usual flag bearing. In the 70s and 80s, you will see the team coming out of the tunnel, and there is always one man who is carrying the flag. He will be the first to come into the field. No player will come to the field unless I come first. I will be the one to go and inspect the dressing room, and then by the time I come out, the players will follow me to the field, and that is why and when the whole stadium knows that something is going to happen today. So I became its chairman in 1990, and that was the time I had the opportunity of changing its face for the better. Because in the past, we used to support all for the fun of supporting, but there was nothing to show that this was an organization that would become a worldwide renowned group.
Exactly.
So I had the opportunity, after I've gone around with the teams all around the world, I knew what was missing. And what was missing, Supporters Club was not known. Supporters Club was not registered. I took the job with my people, and I tried to register the Supporters Club with the CAC. That was when we became an institution, and that was when I had the opportunity of preaching peace through football supportership. Because in football, it is not for you to go to the stadium and start fighting.
Exactly.
It is for you to go into the stadium, be part of the game, make the people who have come to watch the game happy.
That piece that you're talking of is what a number of people are saying is not present in the Football Supporters Club. There are as much as maybe 3, 4, even 5 factions of different people who say that they are the Nigerian Football Supporters Club. Have you ever tried to reach out to these factions? In what ways?
Well, it's an issue I don't want to be talking about again, because in the last 4 or 5 years we've been talking about
it. Okay, just give
all these people were my members. And some of them were officers of the club. But they felt that there can be 2 presidents at a time in one club, which is not true. We have a constitution that we use in running the Supporters Club. You must rise to the post of the national chairman before you can think of becoming contesting the President General's position.
Exactly. Is it by election or appointment?
It's by election. It's by election.
Okay.
Everybody that is an officer of the Supporters Club must go through an
Based
election.
on the Constitution.
Based on the Constitution. Even the position of the President General is by election. We have a Constitution that stipulates that.
And at every election, you have stood at every election?
Of course. What is the meaning of President General for the world? There was a Supporters Club in Nigeria that was not known. But when I became its national chairman, and I served in that position for 10 years, I had gone to Ghana, to Cote d'Ivoire, to Mali, to all the countries of Africa. I have gone to America, Canada, Brazil, India, China, Chile, all the countries of the world where football is played. I went there personally to inaugurate the Supporters Club there. In those countries. They are still there till now. And by the time we were changing the Constitution to have a person who will be the arrowhead, we came up with this nomenclature of President General worldwide. Having served for 10 years, I left that position. Somebody else became the national chairman. Alhaji Waide Aderele Yusuf became became the chairman.
National chairman leaders in
Nigeria. He takes charge of the
okay.
37 states of Nigeria.
Wonderful.
Why the president general
Across
the world. Every chairman or president in their various countries, because in Anglophone countries, the head of the supporters club is addressed as the chairman.
Okay.
But in Francophone countries, the head of the supporters club is addressed as president. So when you have everybody sitting together, how do you call the head? That was how we came with that word, President General worldwide.
Moving forward, sir, we know we cannot, the myriad of problems, we can't start talking here about Nigerian football and Nigerian supporters club, but it's the major aim is Nigerian football. We missed the last World Cup. We were not there. Even our Cadet Championships, okay, we're going for the under-20, but under-23 Olympics were not going. There's quite a lot. We've spoken about Nigerian football. You see, the plethora, if we start, we're not going to finish. But as short as possible, as short as you can, what do we have to do?
God.
This has been asked a lot of times.
It's true. I have been warning for years that our football was dying. It's all over the place. I did conferences. I wrote messages. I met with the NFF and told them that the football in Nigeria is no longer improving. Why? Because the people running believed that we can continue to use the same crop of players for as many years as we can, which is not true. In football, somebody who is playing football actively now, in some years to come, we no longer be that strong to play football. So what we have left undone and what we were doing in the past was that we had programs that was bringing about the younger ones, graduating from the under-17 to under-20, from under-20 to under-23, and then the Super Eagles. Then in those days, there were competitions all over the country, in the West, in the East, in the North. We have left that. The Canon Work War that became a very big name in football was an under-17 player. He was camped in my hotel at Egbe. I was the one that would drive them to the training ground in the morning and in the afternoon. And it was from there we sent them to Japan in 1993, and they came back as world champions.
World champions.
Now, that same program, we have left it. We were believing that, yes, the Kanu, the Orumas, the Babayaros, and the rest, they were good. Actually, they were good. But there must be a time when they will no longer be strong enough to compete actively. So how do we do it? We have to go back to the grassroots.
Exactly.
We have to develop our football. How do we do it? We have to get, of course, this is the job of the Ministry of Sports. The Ministry of Sports must get involved. We have the Nigerian Institute of Sports, where coaches are trained. We have to get the young coaches that will go around the country, look at the young players of 15, 16, 17, that we will support and nurture to become great players. We cannot just be running football because we want to compete, you want to compete, you want to win. You have to plan. How many of the Nigerian clubs have feeder teams? How many of them are professionals? In the real sense of professionalism. Any club that is good must have a feeder team. That is why you have all these foreign clubs progressing. When there is somebody whose leg are being suspected to be tiring, they will get younger ones to come into the main team. We have left that undone for several years.
Very true. And for this one, I must say that we have to defer. I know a number of people you've addressed that in previous interviews. People say you're old school. But the old school is where we've had our best results. I mean, you spoke about 93, 94, 96. Those are the times when we have our best teams. We had our best results, our best performances. Nigeria was ranked 5th. That was after the USA 94 World Cup. That's the highest ever.
In the whole world.
That's the highest ever ranking ever. And we've not even come close to that at this point in time. That was a team that went up against the finalist, Italy, I remember, and all of that. Yeah. So I think on this one, like what you have said, if we go back, grassroots development.
Yes.
going back to how things were. If we are going to get back those results that we were, then we should have a cause to people like you who have to understand that. But one question, sir, let me just run up with this. If, for you know, on peace and all of that has been happening, if it takes someone to say that, okay, we want you to step down so that there can be peace, is this something that you would want to?
Why not? I'm a peace-loving Nigerian. But I would not want any mediocre whose interest is to come and look for money.
Now I understand.
The interest should be Nigeria.
And not personal.
And not personal. It's not about looking for money. Somebody who is ready to spend his time and money for the development of the game, that is the person. So I'm not against that.
All right. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you. We'll still have you maybe on some other show, and then we'll have more time to talk. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much.